All right, what's this episode about? Happy Monday, folks. What's going on? Day in the life of music.
Stuck with it.
I like that title, I think. Are we already at episode?
I was walking
This
my
is the
dog.
Monday series
All four of our
shows that I'm doing. It's not
like back to back.
really a podcast.
And I called you and this is the raddest EP ever. We have to do it. And we did. So that was yay for us.
Okay, I think we're good. Hello. Yeah. Happy Monday, folks. We are nearing the end of season 1. I've decided to season these out because, look, we all have lives. I've got kids. I've said this before. But effectively, I wasn't sure, when to start, when to stop. And now here we are, 19 episodes in? I don't even know where we are. I've got to check the numbers, but thank you for staying tuned and checking in every once in a while. And however you're receiving this, I appreciate you. I've gained a lot of new subscribers. That's awesome. And I just can't wait to share the interviews that I have coming up next season. We've got Gary Nichols coming up. We've got Keaton Simons. Tony Luca and I are talking about doing an episode. I've got a bunch of really cool folks. Matt Slahetka, LA friends, Nashville friends. Most of us are in Nashville or Nashville adjacent now. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I'm going to take a couple of months off through the holidays. I'll be back in January or February, and I'll make some announcements whenever that is decided and we're up and running again. Circling back to today's episode, John McTigue. Actually, I referenced Gary Nichols, so I've already shot his interview. It's in the can. It's going to be coming out next season, like I said. I make a reference to a conversation that he and I had about music being an extension of yourself, of your body. I get into all of that in this episode, but I just wanted to clarify when I say Gary, I'm talking about Gary Nichols. So, and if you don't know Gary, you should. It's in the bluegrass scene. He's known for being in the Steel Drivers, but he's released a lot of great stuff of his own. He's an amazing songwriter, amazing player, working with a lot of great bands, the band Lula. Check everything he's done out because you'll love it. John McTigue is a drummer for so many great people. Jim Lauderdale, Raul Malo, you got Emmylou Harris on the list, a bunch of Nashville people. And he's sort of that go-to guy if you want an alternative sound in your music. So it's a lot of country music. It's a lot of stuff that's down at Roberts and Layla's downtown. And probably many other places I'm not thinking. I know he's done a lot of stuff at the American Legion with Jam and some other folks. So, the guy's all over town all the time. You can always find somewhere to go see him play. They're featuring his album, and he's going to have a band playing over at 3rd and Lindsley if you're in Nashville. I don't think this week. It's in the next couple of weeks. It's November 7th, I believe. Maybe that is this week. What's today's date? Yeah, so this is coming out. I think it's this coming Friday. I'll have to double check. But 3rd and Lindsley, look up John McTigue, the WMOT. It's like a 2-hour thing they do there every Friday. It's a cool show. Right in the middle of the day, go grab some lunch, have a beer, and watch the show. I have to admit this, too. I'm just going to interject this. This is the 3rd interview that we've done for this series. The others haven't aired yet, obviously. And the reason is that in every single one of the previous interviews, well, there's only 2, but it feels like a lot more than that. In the previous 2 interviews, for whatever reason, I had technical difficulties happening here, lost a camera right in the middle of one, and then, although I had everything saved, for some reason in the transfer, I lost footage from the second one. I don't know. And I just felt like, you know what, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. So we came in, did it again. Reiterated a lot of the same stuff, so hopefully it's as lively as the first 2. I think it is. I don't think we missed anything. With that being said, we did get a little bit more consolidated. Clearly I have a problem with tangents and sidebars. Okay, so anyway, we get into a lot of cool things. He's been in Nashville playing here for a long time, so he talks a little bit about the history of downtown, what it used to look like, what it looks like now, all of that kind of stuff. It's an interesting episode. Again, he's played with so many people that there's a lot of really interesting things, not just about him, but about the music that he's putting out now. He's got these records, these 2 records that I've been fortunate enough to help him out with in terms of marketing and media and stuff. And looking forward to continuing that relationship, putting out more music with him, and maybe even being on the next record or something. I don't know. Wink, wink. Who knows? We do talk about that in here, and for better or for worse, whether he was serious or not, we talked about it, and he was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." So maybe it is a good idea. I don't know. Anyway, check it out. Hopefully you enjoy it. This is the episode, finally, with John McTigue III. But tell me a little bit about your history. So, how you got into music, and then how you ended up in Nashville.
Okay, my parents had a lot of records around the house, so I would, kind of gravitate towards that, listening to records that they had. They had, Beatles, the Stones, Elvis Presley.
Nice.
Ornette Coleman, like kind of a wide range of stuff.
We're talking about, when was this?
In the 60s.
Okay.
I was born in 62.
So they were into some rock and roll back then.
Yeah, and they were great dancers. They were the best
fun.
dancers in my hometown, which is Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
All right.
Small town. And my dad always wanted to play drums.
Okay.
And his mom bought him a few drums, but he never really, he just did it for fun here and there, but never played in a band or anything.
Got it.
And I still have a bass drum that was his.
Oh, great.
But anyhow, so I kind of got into music through that, and eventually it was time to go to college. I wanted to go to college, and I couldn't figure out anything that I really, anything that excited me enough to do a major in. And the one thing I really liked was music.
Got it.
So I tried to get into Penn State on campus, and they weren't interested. So I heard about this school, Berklee College of Music. And back then you had to audition. So I sent in a cassette tape of me playing with a band, and I got accepted, got a small scholarship. Then I had to break it to my parents that I got accepted to this college in Boston.
Right.
Which was a 10-hour drive from Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania.
Right.
So, and they were so excited at the time that I did this on my own. It didn't really sink in that their only son was going to be moving to this major city by himself.
Right.
To go to this exclusive music college.
What age did you go to? Because it varies for everybody a little bit.
I was about 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I had worked at a supermarket for a few years, and I was playing in an original progressive rock band at home. And the main thing that I wanted to do at Berklee was learn how to play drums better.
Okay.
I had never really listened to a lot of jazz. I wasn't really into it. I wasn't into blues. Definitely not country music. I wanted to play rock. I was into progressive music like Yes, Rush, Kansas, Styx, Bill Bruford. And so I thought, well, this would be a good way to do it and go to college. And so I did that. And my parents helped me out immensely financially. And I never did well in anything in school until I went to Berklee. And then I was on the dean's list every time.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up getting a degree in 20th century composition.
Wow.
Which most people that went to Berklee did not stay long enough to get a degree. I think there was a 40% graduation rate.
I'd be curious to know if that's the same across other creative schools, music schools in particular.
Yeah.
I feel like, I left 2 years into my tenure at Belmont.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel I definitely wasn't the only one. But yeah, that's interesting. Well, and to call back to it, yeah, clearly you found something that interested you because you went from, it sounded like not being a great student and then getting to Berklee and going, this is something I can get into.
Yeah. Yeah. And I started to get into jazz. Basically, the bridge for me was Pat Metheny.
Okay.
That kind of bridged the gap. And so I got more and more into jazz. I started listening to Latin music and really studying and practicing a lot. while I was at Berkeley, and by the third year, you needed to declare a major. And I had a roommate at the time that was into 20th century composition, and I was studying a lot of different types of harmony. And I thought instead of getting out of here just knowing how to play better, I should get a degree in something. And so I thought, well, I'll check that out. I really liked harmony. I really liked theory. So I got into that and ended up getting a degree in that when I got out of Berkeley. And I think part of the reason why I wanted to get a degree was my parents worked so hard to keep me there, and it was not cheap. I know it's a lot more expensive now, but it was not cheap, so I thought the least I could do is get a degree.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
It was one of the best decisions I ever made, is to go there for college.
Yeah. Got it.
So when I got out of there, it was either New York, LA, or Nashville.
Right.
I had a buddy that lived in Nashville, worked at a gas station. We went to high school together.
Okay. Which gas station? What part
It
of
was
town?
a Gulf gas station on Broadway.
A Gulf on Broadway.
It's not there anymore.
When would this have been?
This would have been late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had come down here to play country music.
Okay. As
And
like
he was a
songwriter?
drummer.
Oh, he's a drummer. Okay.
Yeah, and he had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's father was a country musician.
Okay.
So he came down and joined this band, and it didn't work out. But anyhow, I
Didn't work out with the
visited him.
girlfriend's dad?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Is he still here?
No, he moved back to
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, and his girlfriend did too. She's back in Pennsylvania.
So
she owns a club.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah.
You play there?
No.
Ever? Okay.
Never. I haven't even been there.
Yeah, got it. Okay. That's interesting.
But I'm in contact with both of them still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
They were married, and it just didn't work out. They've got kids
Yeah,
together, and
Yeah.
but the whole country music thing, the band,
Yeah.
with her father, fell apart
Okay.
like most things do.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Music problem, not a relationship problem.
at that time, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Later on, I think there were other.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we don't need to assume anything.
I could give you their names and addresses.
We can Spokio.
I could call them right now. But so visited Nashville,
Yeah.
and compared to Boston was very expensive, not very
Right.
friendly,
Okay.
and I had never actually been to LA, but I heard that it was even more expensive. In New York,
Sure.
I had visited, so I thought, well, man, let's check out Nashville. And I was dating a girl at the time that was a songwriter, and
Okay.
she was one of the first people to get a degree at Berkeley in the songwriting major.
Okay.
It was the first year they had it.
Okay, got it.
So we came down here, and she tried. It didn't quite work out. We ended up getting married, and then we split up, and I stayed.
Okay.
And
So it didn't work out for her as a songwriter here,
No.
or she decided to move out. Yeah.
And she moved back home, and so I stayed, and I ended up meeting a gentleman named Jesse Lee Jones, who was from Brazil,
Okay.
and I met him through Gary Bennett, and Gary was one of the lead singers for BR549,
Right.
and they were playing. I first met Gary. He just, back then you would put up a business card on a bulletin board.
Right.
And he saw my card somewhere. He
Yeah.
called me. He said, can you come down and play drums at Robert's Western World? It's country music. And I said, Gary, I don't know this music. I know
Yeah.
a little bit, but I'll come down and check it out.
So that, just to interject, that's what's interesting to me, for you or about you, is you have this background in Latin and jazz drums. When we first met, our first conversation was about the type of drummer that I was looking for, because I just moved into town and I was looking for a drummer. But we kind of hit it off about, everything else. And but I wanted a drummer, and I've always liked working with drummers that have the flexibility of at least a knowledge in jazz, some experience. But you came to Nashville not looking to play country music. You came to Nashville because it was just one of the options available.
Yeah.
And so this is your first sort of foray into, I guess, I gotta shit or get off the pot when it comes to country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So.
Yeah, and I had really no idea what I was getting into.
Sure.
So I go downtown, and at that time, Lower Broadway was like one of the worst parts of Nashville. Like all the arc lights were shot out or just didn't work. There's pawn shops, prostitutes,
right.
sex shops.
There used to be strip clubs right on, was it 2nd or Broadway? There were one or two. They got shut down in the early 2000s, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a totally different downtown.
It was really different. It was very dangerous.
Yeah, you could park, but you might not want to.
Yeah, and back then I could
Very
park
different than
right in
today.
front of the club.
That's right. Yeah.
And I didn't, it was like didn't even take any gear. I just took my drumsticks and I used the gear that was at the club. And it was just, odd drums and different pieces that were shoved up on a shelf above some clothing. And you had to move the clothing to set the drums up in the window.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, there was nobody there. There was like the bartender, her name was Maddie.
Okay.
They had canned beer, no food, no liquor. And it was a boot and clothing store.
Roberts?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That's what it was. And,
Interesting.
they sold canned beer, like Busch beer,
Right.
PBR.
Yeah.
So
Let's silence our phones real quick.
somebody's at my door. Yeah, so I'm playing down there, and the bass player, his name was Bones. I can't remember his real name, but he was basically, I said, man, I don't know this material.
Yeah.
He's like, just watch, just play your bass drum when I'm hitting notes.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of did that. And I was already familiar with some George Jones and a lot of Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Because where I grew up, if you wanted to know what you were having for lunch that day at school, there was only one station to listen to, and it was all traditional country music. And it was like Teddy Bear, trucker kind of country music.
Right.
Freddie Fender.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that country music. I mean, I know like George Jones, obviously, and Johnny Cash, but Teddy Bear country music, I don't resonate.
Yeah, Breaker 1-9.
Oh, yeah.
You got your ears on. This is Teddy Bear.
Okay. I guess I do know that.
It was like a genre from a certain period of time.
Okay, sure. That genre's I think that one's been squashed to the time period.
Yeah. But so anyhow, I play with Gary. I'm not having a lot of fun.
Okay.
And it's weird. It's an odd place to be.
Yeah.
And so I did one weekend with him, and that was it. And then I was playing some rock and blues and progressive rock on the weekends in towns outside of Nashville.
Okay.
Because there wasn't really much going on. There was no jazz scene really to speak of.
They didn't have what was that, F. Scott's in Green Hills?
There was F. Scott's, there was Mayor
Yeah.
Bowles.
Oh,
downtown.
yeah.
And I would go there to listen to music, but I didn't really know anyone,
Sure.
So anyhow, one day in '95, I get a call from this Jesse Lee Jones. I can tell he's from South America,
Yeah.
and he's asking me to play at Roberts, playing country music. And I said, man, I'm not really interested in doing that. And he kept going on, and he's like, yeah, I do a lot of Marty Robbins, Hank Snow. And I said, well, man, if I could play like Latin grooves or Cuban grooves to this
Right.
country music, I'd be into it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
no thanks. And he was like, well, yeah, okay, let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we started doing that, and I had an odd drum kit. I was using my dad's bass drums from the 30s. It was a Ludwig and Ludwig.
Yeah.
And I had a
Is that the
Premier
one that
snare.
you still have, by the way?
I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got a hand-painted scene of Niagara Falls on the front drum head. And you would put a light in it, and it would light up the scene. And it also, the heat from the bulb keeps the both heads taut. Is that the word? Kind of
tight. Yeah.
Because if it gets cold out, the head just kind of flaps in the wind.
Sure. Interesting.
But yeah, I used that, and there was a Premier 62 chrome snare drum at Roberts, because I didn't really want to bring anything if I didn't have to.
Right.
And I took that drum and I kind of tuned it like a timbali, and it had that type of sound.
Yeah.
Even with the snare strainer on the bottom. And then I had a couple cowbells, a ride cymbal, some hats, and a floor tom. And that was basically my drum set for Brazil Billy.
Yeah.
And we started playing, and it was really interesting because nobody was doing that.
Right.
And Jesse, he's one of the best singers I've ever worked with. He sings Marty Robbins like Marty Robbins. Like,
wow. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Very cool.
He's still very good at that. But so we were doing that. I'm doing the grooves. And basically from that, we were warming up for BR5 at Roberts. BR5 did the late shift. We did the early shift.
Right. And this would have been a very early version of BR549. So this is way before what became known as BR549, I assume?
Yeah, actually, they had a sax player in the very beginning and an electric bass player.
Okay, interesting.
And then the sax player, I don't know what happened, but he was no longer in the band. His name was Tex. He was a great sax player. Okay. And he was one of the few sax players that was really into country music.
That's fascinating to me because that's not a country music instrument.
No, there's not a lot of it. But the songs, like there's some in some Haggard music, he knew all those songs.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
And Ring of Fire, the horn parts in that.
Yeah, uh-huh. I definitely, horn sections for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So anyway, okay, so Brazil Billy, you're opening up for BR549, and this is your first little, this I guess is your second foray, country, because you started,
yeah,
got it.
And because it wasn't quite, it was more of what I was doing, Latin grooves.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
And it was different from BR549.
Mm-hmm.
But when BR5 would play, it would be packed. It was like it was this crazy band that played old traditional country music. They dressed like old traditional country music stars, and it was like this cool. It became this cool scene for people to come from all over Nashville, all walks of life, all ages, to come to this dangerous part of town and see this cool band that was doing the music that created Nashville. Right.
And it's interesting to tell people. I mean, I grew up around here, and I was born in early mid '80s, 84. So by the time I was going down there, Roberts was Roberts. I think Layla's was there. Tootsie's was around.
Okay,
There were probably 5 bars then.
Yeah.
But it was, nowhere. Well, in the last 5 years, even has changed so much. But obviously, just it's hard to explain to people what Nashville was like then. But it's cool to hear. So you were basically carving your own little niche through all of that, and as a drummer, because going to like some of the later people that you play with now and have played with over time, Emmylou Harris, Raul, and these other people. To me, it is sort of the outskirts of what fits into country music, or at least during those times, because now country is, rap. Whatever the hell they're wanting to put out, it's country music these days.
It's true.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and so anyhow, one thing that was interesting with Brazil Billy and the slot that we had, when we started, we would start at like 5 or 6 in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And Robert, there was hardly anybody in there, and Robert wanted us to play soft. So I would be playing with brushes.
Sure.
And as the night went on, BR5 would start around 9 or 10. And, somewhere around 7:30 or 8, it would start to fill up. And there would be so many people, I couldn't even hear what I was playing. And it was just from people talking.
Yeah.
So that went on for a while, and I started thinking, okay, I've got to, and I'd switch to sticks, and Robert would be like, it's too loud, man, what are you doing? So I started thinking, okay, how can I get from one area to the next in a smooth fashion,
Sure.
sound-wise.
Create the,
Yeah, and something that sounded good within the music. So I started messing around with pieces of plastic and old sticks.
Yeah.
And I ended up developing a brush of my own from plastic and wood, which no one was doing back then. And I called them webs. It had kind of it looked like a webbed duck's foot.
Okay.
And there were 3 different layers, and there was like a small, medium, and large attached to a wooden handle. And I started using those, and you could play soft, and whenever you wanted, lay into the drum. And it had a unique sound to where when you were playing, it sounded like an old record immediately. It wasn't like you didn't need a speaker or anything else to make it sound that way. It just sounded that way by itself.
Yeah. So this is the stick that you invented or developed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brush.
So it sounds like it would go from the brushes to like a hot rod. Would that be the effect, basically?
Not exactly the same, because this it's still like a brush where you're slapping the head.
Yeah.
It's not, you're holding it like a stick. It kind of feels like a stick, but you're kind of slapping the head.
Yeah.
But you could do rim shots because you had a wooden handle. You could crash a cymbal with it.
Yeah.
It was like in between a wire brush and maybe a plastic or a stick.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah.
And it sounded
cool.
great on a snare drum, doing like train beats or shuffles.
Yeah.
Where you're just like a second line drummer just plays the entire groove on a snare drum.
Right.
It's really good for that. So I started doing that, and a friend of mine, Johnny Rabb, who was another drummer, was playing at Layla's at the time. And he would hear us, and he would come over and kind of like, what are you using? And I said, well, man, I made these. And he's like, well, can we sit down? You show me your technique with what you're playing. And we talked about it, but it never really happened. And then after so many years, Johnny came to me, he said, hey, I'm starting a drumstick company. And he's like, I want to produce your brush.
Super cool.
And I was like, okay, let's do this. So we got together and we figured out which machines we would need. And he was affiliated with a lumber yard in Toone, Tennessee. And that's where they had the machines to make sticks, to make drumsticks.
Got it.
And they started making my brush, and it became one of their top accessory products. And it won the MIPA award in 2000, which is for International Music Press.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I did not know that.
yeah, it was cool. And
That's awesome, man.
so that was something kind of unique that came out of necessity,
Sure. Yeah.
playing at Roberts. And so over time, I started to get into older country music.
Yeah.
And people would come in town and they'd ask me to play or sit in or whatever.
Sure.
So I started playing with like Wiley Gustafson, with Wiley and the West Show.
Oh, okay.
He was a member of the Opry at the time.
Yeah.
He did the Yahoo yodeling commercial that you might be familiar with.
Oh, sure. That must be where I know that name, because I definitely have heard that act name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Scruggs, Rosie Flores,
Sure.
Dale Watson. Just kind of snowballed from there. Ended up playing with Raul Malo and a bunch of different people over the years.
Rosie, so well, and I met Jake at Roberts probably. He did the door there. Jake Rosswalk.
Yeah.
We just connected over Americana Fest, and I recognized him. I was like, dude, I met you when I was 19. We told you I was 21, and you let me in. Yeah, he's been managing Rosie, I think, for a while.
Yeah, he was tour managing her for years.
He was managing her through Americana Fest and all that. Yeah. Super cool. Anyway, sidebar.
I forgot about Jake. Yeah.
Dude, he's got some cool stuff going on. He's got a little farm, home that he owns out in, I don't even know where it is, but it's right on the Alabama-Tennessee line. His family's from Huntsville, Alabama. Mm-hmm. And he's got this little farm out there, and he's been inviting a bunch of people to come and play shows. Guys that you would know. I mean, it's all the same kind of circle.
Yeah.
He had just little house concerts and shows. Yeah, you should hit him up if you got his info and catch up with him. Yeah,
okay,
But yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah. But so from playing downtown, I ended up doing a lot of Opry dates.
Okay.
With all these different people. Mm-hmm. Back when there was more country music.
Yeah.
On the Opry, and so it just kind of snowballed from there.
Sure.
Really. Doing more sessions and doing different people's albums and stuff.
Right on, man. So, all right. So that brings us up. I mean, that gives people a really good background. Gives me a lot in there I didn't know about you, and we've done this 3 times. So, all right. So let's get into talking about your records real quick. Yeah, let's talk about your records, because that's the main reason I wanted to get you on here. So the thing that we've been working on together these last couple of years are these 2 records that you've put out.
Yeah.
It's instrumental stuff. There's some lyrical stuff on there. Other vocalists. You sang on this last record, right?
I did. Yeah.
So where do these records come from?
Well, I was playing one day somewhere in Nashville, and I was thinking, I was kind of thinking, man, why did I get into this in the first place?
Yeah.
And what made me get into playing music? Mm-hmm. I'm very thankful to be doing it professionally, but it's like, what started me in this direction in the first place? And I started thinking about when I was a kid, just playing by yourself at your house, playing to records, and then you'd find another kid somewhere in the neighborhood that could play an instrument.
Yeah.
And you'd get together. And it would be fun. You would play for fun, and it didn't matter how good you were. We weren't even good enough to play cover tunes.
Sure.
We just jammed.
Yeah.
And it was fun, and we'd jam on something long enough to where we'd figure out different sections and memorize them.
Sure.
And that was one of the songs that we'd play every time we got together.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's why. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, it would be cool to be able to do that again and maybe do an album with that being the premise for it. Like going there with that kind of attitude. Just that you're going to go in there and just jam with one of your friends or somebody that you've played music with over the years that you gel with.
Right.
And so I mentioned the idea to Kenny Vaughan one day, and he was like, man, that's a great idea. We should do that. And I was like, yeah, okay. Well, and some time went by, and I ran into him again on another gig. We were playing together, and we were taking a break, and he asked me about that idea, like, what's going on with that? And I said, well, I'm trying to find a studio. Maybe I can find something I can afford in East Nashville. And he's like, man, Dave Rowe. I'll call Dave. You know Dave.
Yeah.
Let's call Dave. We can record it at his place. So we did that. Dave was super cool. Especially because a lot of these tunes, there's no bass guitar.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's mostly just like you and like Kenny's on guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of old school. You could listen to a lot of blues duos where there would be a guy singing, playing guitar, and a drummer.
Right.
And I like that aspect of it. I like the aspect also of improvising. And that's something I wanted to do too, where we would just go into the studio with no preconceived idea necessarily of what we were going to do until we got there.
Okay.
And then I would say to Kenny, I'm thinking, let's do something that kind of rocks, maybe in this vein, and we'd kind of work it out, like hash it out, and I would kind of arrange it as we went, and I'd come up with a beat that was a little bit different, and kind of, what do you think of this beat? What can you put to that? And we would kind of compose a song right there.
Like on the fly. Yeah.
On the fly, and just record it.
Yeah.
So
cool.
That's one thing I like doing, and that we've done on both records. And then, I've tried to pick people that I've worked with over the years that I've really felt something musically, like from the heart, people I've really gelled with.
Right.
And so that's both my records are people, that I've worked with on different projects, and it could be music that has nothing to do with what we've done on these records.
Sure.
But you can just tell when you play with someone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a thing there.
Yeah. Well, it's like one thing I'll point out about your playing, and I noticed this when we played together, but especially in these records, you have a very melodic, almost lyrical way of playing the drums. Like there's a real voice to it.
Yeah.
Gary and I were talking about that, about how the instrument becomes like an extension of your body. People say it's just another appendage or whatever, but I think there's a certain point at which it's more internal, and I think with drummers it's even more internal out of the gate, because it very much is attached to what's happening inside as opposed to what's happening out here.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I remember when I was in college at Berkeley, the teachers that I had, the drum teachers, they taught you to have your own voice as a musician.
Right. Interesting.
And that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
It was like you could take someone and study, learn their licks note for note.
Right.
But have that, once you do that, once you can play whatever they're doing note for note, kind of internalize it.
Right.
But don't let it become you. Don't copy them.
Yeah.
Take what they did and do it your way.
No, 100%, yeah.
And so you come up with your own voice, and that's always the way I've felt about drumming, no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah, it comes across pretty clear.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. In Nashville, especially when I first moved here, the recording scene was like, you basically needed to play like 2 or 3 of the top session drummers.
Yeah.
And you had to play just like them,
right.
The same feel and everything, or you didn't get work.
Yeah, that's still the case in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I've always found that difficult because that's not something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of tried to do my own thing, but still, make it in this city. Make music.
You got to make it to stay. To keep doing it.
Yeah.
There's definitely certain concessions I think you have to have for a singer-songwriter like myself. The only gigs you can get consistently in town are these cover gigs downtown. And I think it's always kind of been that way. I could find more like songwriter gigs in more common places back during the late 90s, early 2000s when I was kind of coming into it. But I was only really playing gigs here for a couple of years at that point. When I came back into town, there were a few more opportunities like 2012, 13. But now it's just, I mean, they're beating you over the head with music and everything that anybody wants to pay that person to sing for 24 hours on Lower Broad. You can't walk anywhere. I think it was Shooter Jennings was talking about that. Like, he almost hates music when he comes into town. And I feel exactly the same way. Like when I have to go downtown. But I respect it so much, the grind of that and you know, you play downtown quite a bit still, and I respect that a lot, you know. I don't have that in me. I don't know that I ever really had it in me, but I don't have that in gear in me anymore, I don't think.
I know what you mean. Yeah. I've been fortunate in a way because the country music that I've played, I've still been able to play it my way.
Well, yeah.
I've still been able to put my voice into it.
Well, and I'm so like Sarah, is it Sarah Meacham downtown?
Sarah Gail Meach?
Yes, yeah. Sarah Gail Meach, yeah. So we know each other through this bar that I'm attached to, but she knows all those guys from LA, and she's got very much her own thing going on. Yeah. She's singing all those covers and everything else, but she does her originals and stuff too, and she's got her image. And have you played with her over there?
Her second record.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I don't know if I've seen you play with her downtown yet,
I have
but
before,
I've been down there to see her a couple of times. Yeah. But she's a good example of someone who is, and Sean Mayer is another good example of some of these artists who have been able to really carve a niche out there. I guess that's where Keith Urban was discovered. I mean, a lot of those guys. Yeah. Brad Paisley, I think, was down there playing before he became Brad Paisley.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, so to swing it back around to these records, so you've got these really eclectic jams on there, but then you also were able to bring in that classical background too, and you're doing these little suites at the end of the records.
Yeah, where it's completely arranged and written out.
Yeah.
And fortunately in Nashville, there's some great players.
Yeah.
They can read that kind of music and play it very well.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of different genres. And you know, some of the tracks are just duets. In fact, most of them are. There's a few tracks where the guitar player might add a little bit of bass guitar.
Sure, like in terms of playing bass lines, or he's actually pulling out a bass guitar and playing bass?
Playing some bass along with the track, you know, just to fill it up.
Just to fill it up some.
But it's also, I didn't... a lot of times you'll listen to like some drummers' records. There's phenomenal drummers, masters out there that'll do an instrumental record, and it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. But for me, after a few tracks, it can kind of start to sound the same. And it blows me away, the stuff that they're doing. It's like, wow. You know, I'd have to be practicing like another lifetime to get to this level.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do something that was for more people, not just for musicians, not just for drummers or, you know, not super technical as far as music goes, for players.
Right.
And so that's why I thought, man, it'd be cool to throw in some stuff where there's, you know, people singing. So, you know, with my record, it'll start out usually with a vocal tune, and then kind of every other song.
Yeah.
There'll be some lyrics and...
Yeah, a singer on there.
Yeah. But...
and it's good choices, I think. I mean, you know, as you're going down the record, you're hearing some of these old, like Ghost Riders in the Sky, you know, songs that people will recognize, but then you also have... well, you sang on this last record, an original, Broadway Blues. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds good.
Oh, thanks. That's my
drummer can sing. Who knew?
First attempt at singing on a record.
Oh, okay, I don't know if I knew it was your first one.
Yeah, I've never sung on a record before, certainly. But I wrote that song. It's about Lower Broadway, and. You know, some of the stuff that went on back in the day.
That's right.
And I first kind of composed the song, which is me playing brushes and singing the melody of the tune. And then I brought in Kenny Vaughn and Chris Scruggs, and they added some nuance to it, and it kind of grew into what it is. And I also Sean Byrne played some timpani drum. There's no bass guitar.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I noticed that.
Yeah. So,
super cool.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris he was in BR549.
He was for
yeah.
At one point, Gary Bennett left, and Chris hopped
was in
aboard.
there,
So
yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Well, and these records are awesome. So I encourage people to check them out. I think we're in the final stages of the vinyl, getting that ready.
Yeah.
You're ordering some vinyls. Those are going to be available. I need one.
Yes, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super excited about the records. They've been very well received. You got great reviews on them. They sound killer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure. I hope that you'll keep doing it. I encourage you to keep doing it because they're really good records.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I think we need more of those sort of organic concepts these days.
Yeah.
And I hate that every episode of this thing gets into that, but it is something I think we're all thinking about. I think about it all the time. But yeah, this is one good example of something AI is not going to. I guess you could throw a prompt into AI and say, "Give me a drummer and a guitar player and make this a song that sounds like this," and it'll shit out something, But I remember I've been doing my some motion assets for Apple with AI. Firefly, Adobe has this Firefly thing, and all I had was the still image of my face. This headshot for the record, I heard Josh Groban call it the staring contest in the desert, which I love. That analogy for like the singer, doing the thing. And so anyway, I've got this picture of myself, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to turn this into motion art? So I just threw it in Firefly and said, make this guy, maybe make his eyes blink and something moves behind him. And I think he doesn't notice, it just goes by. But the first couple of takes, it was like I would go like this really big, awful blink and then turn around and come back. And I'm like, this is not what I asked for at all. I think I spent, 2,000 credits, I guess is how they pay for it, just to get something that kind of worked. So it became like a blink. And I'm just sitting there and you see my head kind of go back and forth and a car drives behind me. Like, we'll stop here. This is good enough, And I feel like that's where AI is right now. If it doesn't matter what it sounds like from a conceptual perspective, you're just trying to get something there, it's great for that. But to come up with something that's like unique to your, again, lyrical, melodic playing, and Kenny's fantastic, stylistic playing on the guitar and how he does his thing, the marriage of those two things and how that's reacting, like you can't grow that out of a computer. You really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's so again, the more the merrier, man. Keep making them. Keep making them. I'll do my best to help putting them out.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I can join you on one at some point. I would love to.
That would be fun.
Jump in the room.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Another thing that I appreciate that you've helped me out so much with is the videos that go with both these records, especially the newest one, Never Too Late. The editing work that you've done is amazing, and just the cinematic quality of each video, I think, lends itself well to the tracks and the overall sound of the record. The overall vibe of the record. I took a lot of footage over the years that I wanted to do something with, and we've been able to kind of piece together like different eras through my life that contribute to the music that I've made.
Yeah.
And your editing skills are incredible at piecing this together and making it into like a visual piece of artwork. I really like that because they're definitely not Music Row videos.
Right.
You know, I mean, they're totally different, and I like the idea of that. You know, something that's...
Yeah, I don't remember how we came across that trajectory, because we did shoot Keeping Time. You know, I came and shot you down at the Legion.
That was a little bit more traditional.
Yeah, let's go, you know.
At the American Legion.
That's right. That's right. But we did incorporate, you know, the clocks and things and some layers, graphic layers. But this sort of found footage idea, I love it, and I appreciate the compliment. I have more of a documentary background in filmmaking, and so putting those together, I mean, it made complete sense to me. But it wouldn't have come out of any other sort of meeting of the minds. I think it's really unique to how you came to me with the ideas, and then my just given approach to
your approach.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks, man. And I agree. I think they came together really well. We're sitting here, we put them together, and then we step back and watch 15 seconds of it and go, damn, that was great.
Yeah. It's like, wow, this is more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's nice when you just throw some shit up on the wall to see if it sticks, and not only is it sticking, but it looks pretty good too.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. I think didn't one or two of those videos get reviews specifically about the video too?
Yes, Americana UK. They previewed a video of the song, I believe it was Ghost Riders.
Sure.
I think it was that one.
Okay, that was the one with the desert stuff.
Yes.
And the riders, we found some riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just Americana Highways, they also previewed one of the videos. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great record to put on and sit and listen to your point, like a sit around, you know, kids are doing whatever they're doing with their puzzles and toys and things, and mom's in the kitchen or grandma's, you know, whatever, doing the thing, and you can be sitting around reading a newspaper, just listening to a record. You know, that's a different kind of experience.
Yeah, I wanted something that kind of took you on a journey.
Yeah.
You know, I think both of these records do that.
Yeah. The sit at home and listen to this thing record.
Yeah. Put
it's
on
good
some
for
headphones and just
That's right. Yeah.
close your eyes and take off.
That's right. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for bringing some great music to all of our lives.
Thank you. Thank you,
I mean,
Joshua.
that's sincere.
Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah,
this
of course.
is great.
You feel good about it? Did we do it right this time?
I hope so. The cameras will tell.
Everything's still recording, I hope. Good Lord. All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
I thank you for coming and doing it.
Yeah.
And putting up with me this many times. And we'll do it again soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Great, man. Cool. We've only got one more episode left in this series. Obviously, I've got that EP coming out next Friday, the 14th of November. So, Wild Horses EP, if you haven't yet, pre-save it. Go to your favorite, just DSP, whatever it is, online, find it. It is playing on WMOT in Nashville, and I think a couple other stations up in the Northeast. So, yeah, maybe you'll hear it on the radio. Check it out. We're independent artists over here, doing the thing. I guess that's it for today. See you in the season finale next week. Thanks for watching.